Hello. Today we'll talk about the SEO tools that you can use to run an SEO audit on your website. So one of the questions that we get a lot here is at Optimum 7 is how can I do an SEO audit? I have this website. How can I know what's missing on the website? How can I really identify the lowest hanging fruit on my website to be able to rank it better, to be able to get more leads, more sales from my website from an organic search standpoint? And it really almost always goes back to an analysis of what you have today. How are your content pages structured? How do you present your website services or products on your website? What does your content structure in terms of a hierarchy look like? And there are probably 10 different elements that we need to look at in an SEO audit to be able to tell you what you need to do. But then again, if you have the right process, you can do this audit yourself. You don't have to pay for somebody else to do this audit. Of course, it always helps to have professionals look at it, but if you're looking for a really, really basic SEO audit, here what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the tools that you can use to run an SEO audit or help you run an SEO audit. So one of the first things, guys, that we get asked again is, what do I have to do next, or what's the most important for me, most important thing for me to do in terms of my content and my SEO? And I know that the answers to this question vary based on who we are talking about. So is it possible for us to have like a top 3 items that you need to look at that's very, very essential? And we'll start with Ohad, because Ohad, you deal with a lot of SEO audits here at Optimum 7. What are the top 3 things you would look at before we even dive into these tools?
Yeah, so the very first thing that I look at is, does the site have Google Analytics installed in it? Is the Google Analytics account set up properly with funnels and goals set up correctly? And then the next thing is, did they verify their account on Google Search Console? And are they tracking data? Do they have one for each of their variation of their sites? You know, the HTTP, HTTPS, www, without www, have all of that set up. That's the very first thing that I always check, and you would be surprised how many people don't have that set up properly.
Correct. So Google Analytics, because we want to be able to see the data on your website. Where are you getting traffic from? What are you ranking for? What is your conversion funnel look like? You mentioned funnels. I need to be able to see, if you're an e-commerce site, for example, how many add to carts you have, how many people went to checkout, how many people actually did check out. So we can kind of look at the metrics and determine all aspects of your website and how you are able to acquire business or leads from this website. And you also mentioned the Google Search Console, because we want to be able to see impression data from Google on what you're getting impressions. And this all, I guess, points to identifying opportunity, correct? Where is the opportunity on my site? What content can I write, or what pages can I optimize to be able to rank higher or convert better?
And when it comes to Google Search Console, it's also, are there any issues? Does Google have any issues crawling your website?
Got it.
So that's your best indication. Instead of guessing, Google, once you verify your property, tells you exactly if there's any issues crawling your website.
Yes. So the first 2 things I get, Google Analytics, Google Console, and the fact that they are set up right, so that you can actually get some data on what you need to optimize. What would be a second tool for you to kind of get a good understanding and view of how your website is ranking on search engines and how it's operating? What's the next tool that you would look at?
I'll do a screaming frog crawl. What that will do is that will indicate to me if I have any missing metadata, missing meta titles, descriptions, any images missing alt text, and kind of any technical SEO that's missing on my site.
So if we had to structure it, first you have to get the data, and second you have to do your due diligence, and you have to have everything technical there. If you have 1,000 pages that are missing, meta descriptions,
or duplicate,
correct, you have to obviously put that in there,
that.
and you have to instruct your team. It doesn't matter how big you are or how small you are. You have to either do it yourself. You have to instruct your team to do it.